Hey guys, welcome back to my small engine repair channel. Today I'm going to show you how to save that chainsaw chain that has come off your bar and won't go back in the groove of the bar. What I often see come in the shop are chainsaws where the chain has come right off the bar. Usually this happens right after people put a brand new chain on your chainsaw, or they just buy a brand new chainsaw as well. So the main reason this is happening is because people aren't keeping the proper tension on their chainsaw chain. And especially if you just put a brand new chain on your chainsaw, it will stretch a bit after you put it on because it's brand new. So I more commonly see it happening on chainsaws that are brand new or when people have put new chains on them. But it also happens even if you have an old chain that you left too loose on the bar as well, as I'll show you later in the video. Now the first thing you want to do is remove the bar and chain. Start by removing the two bar nuts here. And here's what happening since the chain came off the bar is that when you go to put it in the bar, it's really tight and it won't go inside the groove. So this is the problem I'll be showing you how to fix. First of all, I'll show you the burrs that were caused when the chain came off. So these are all the drive links of the chain, and what's happened is there's burrs that have formed underneath the drive links here, and that's why it will not fit in the groove. You can see one right here, and there's quite a few more on the drive links. So what you have to do is look through all the drive links, locate all the places where there's burrs. So there could be quite a few. And because this chain is pretty well new, it is worth fixing the way I'm going to show you today. Now, if you are having a hard time locating the burrs with the chain off, just grab your bar, try to put in the chain in the bar, and where you cannot put it in, you know there's a burr on the drive link. And then you can mark it with a Sharpie or something like that. But as you can see here, there's quite a few in a row. And you can also lightly put the bar in the vise here and do it this way. You might find that easier. And you'll find that some burrs are bigger than others. This drive link here will not even go into the bar. So what I'll do is just mark that one drive link with a black marker. So do this for the entire chain. Even if it goes in tight, just mark it, because there is a slight burr. It's got to be going in the chain nice and loose like this. So you can see all the marked spots with the marker. So there's quite a few. There's probably a dozen drive links that I need to file down the burrs. Now the most commonly used tool to fix that is a flat file. This is the file that you would use to file down the rakers or the depth gauges on your chain. Now I do use some power tools to fix the burrs on the chain. I will show you that. First I'll show you how to do it with the file. And that's because most of you will not have the power tools I'll be showing you today, but you will have access to a file. So what I do is I grab a hold of the chain, make sure you're wearing gloves, and I've already marked where the burrs are. Now you will feel the burrs with your finger. You will feel that it's not as smooth as the other parts of the chain where it's not damaged. So what you want to do is file the burrs down until it's nice and smooth and even. And it might only take a few passes in some cases. And you'll have to do both sides. So flip the chain and stay on the same drive link. And it is a bit cumbersome because the chain wants to dance around on you below. And here's another one that's damaged. So now just move on to the next one, file the burr down. And most of the time the burr's just at the bottom. So it's pretty quick, just a few passes. And just keep doing this until you file down all the burrs on all the drive links that are affected. I'm usually very busy in my shop, so to save time when there's a lot of burrs to fix, like on the chain I showed you, I'll use my pneumatic die grinder. And what I use are these small flat discs. They go right onto the die grinder. Basically just twist it in. Now when you use this tool, make absolutely sure you're wearing safety glasses. So when you're cleaning the burrs, you just want to file down the bottom here where the burrs are. You don't need to file right up to the top. And what you can do as you grind the burrs down is try it in your bar. So these ones are going in okay. So as I'm trying the chain and the bar here, I'm noticing some links go in, but they're tight. So I will grind them a little bit more. Once you think all the burrs are fixed, put it on the bar like this, rotate the chain around. It's got to move freely like this. And this chain looks quite good. There's no resistance. And this chain is good for use again. And you can also use a flat disc on your angle grinder. It's going to be a little more inconvenient or cumbersome because it's so big. The small flat discs like this on a die grinder are perfect. And the disc I'm using today is 80 grit, but you can use a higher grit, like you could go up to 100, 120. Now here's a chain that came off of a Husqvarna chainsaw. In some cases, you might want to consider whether it's worth it or not to fix the burrs. If you see a lot of damaged drive links like this one over here and this one and so on, I wouldn't fix it. I'm just going to throw this chain out. If you keep using a chain with damaged drive links, you're going to end up damaging your sprocket prematurely, and you don't want the chain to come off the bar again and hurt somebody. And also, if you notice that the cutters are pretty small, then don't bother fixing the chain. It's too bad with this chain because the cutters still had quite a bit of life left in them. And also you want to check the loose or play in the rivets. You grab the chain and you move it back and forth like this. There is quite a bit of play in this one. Now it's a shame because the cutters were still pretty good on this chain, but because the drive links are so damaged, I am not fixing this one. And now I'm just going to reinstall it on the chainsaw. So now it's time to adjust the chain on the chainsaw. This is a very critical step in this repair because if it's not tensioned right, it's going to happen all over again. So the first thing you want to do is make sure the nuts are not tight. They're still loose, as you can see. Hold up the bar all the way up, and then you want to check the tension. So as you can see here, this chain is too loose. If that's the case, just hold the bar up again. Turn the small screw in here clockwise. It will tighten up the chain. If your chain is too tight, turn it counterclockwise in reverse. Hold the bar up again, and now tighten up the two nuts. The chain will get slightly tighter sometimes when you tighten up the nuts, so take that in consideration. Now check the tension again. It's quite tight, it's not over tightened. When I put on a brand new chain like this one is, even though it was damaged, I put it on just slightly a bit tighter because it will stretch again. If you're reinstalling a chain that's been used quite a bit, it won't stretch anymore as much as a new one, so take that in consideration as well. However, if you do install a brand new chain, make sure to check the tension only after a few cuts because it may be loose again. And one tip is don't tighten up the chain when it's hot because it will contract when it's cold. So that's why you have to be careful in the winter time to not tighten up your chain when it's hot because it can contract so much that it will break your crankshaft. So as you saw there, that chain works good now that the burrs are filed down. Don't be hasty to throw out a good chain like that if you can fix it quickly like I did today. So thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure to bookmark the video for future reference. And remember, most of the time, all you need to fix a Burred chain is a file. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and that you're following me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All the links are below, and have a great day.